Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen of the media, yesterday, after being on the order paper for a significant amount of time, the Durban Park motion was debated. The 10 questions, or the 10 pieces of information that we sought to find out from the government is known to all in the media by now. This motion was simply to ensure there is full accountability, public disclosure, and allowing the government to fulfill its conditions of transparency and fulfilling its tenets of good governance. Last night we were told by the Honorable Minister of Public Infrastructure, Minister David Patterson, about some things, but I need to say this before. Minister Patterson, by his own admission, was not slated to speak on this motion. In my opening remarks, I indicated that I was surprised that neither Minister Harman, the Minister of State, nor Minister Patterson, whose ministry was the custodian of significant sums of taxpayers' money, were not scheduled to speak. Minister Rupert Rupnerang was scheduled to speak. And in the end, under pressure, ceded to Minister Patterson for whatever reason. Today we are discovering that Minister Rupert Rupnerang is one of the directors of Homestretch Development Inc. And I want to make the point, if the government was interested in providing the people of Guyana with the information as it relates to Durban Park, the information was in the House last night in the person of one of its directors who was intimately involved, Rupert Rupnerang. And the government rather scribbled a piece of paper and passed it to Minister Patterson that did not make disclosure. Go back to the recording, you'll hear what he said, L. London. Well, I thought actually it was Lyndon Blackie London. That was my thinking. Or I don't know if it was Lady London. It was a B. Ram. It was a something Wilson and a something Miller.
Oh, they only gave colored parts. And that name isn't on it at all.
So, not even the full names. So I can say here this afternoon, and I would like Minister Patterson to rebut this, he lied to the House. And you know what he will say? He didn't give all the information. But it is better not to mislead by giving part. And you know what this proves? What I said earlier. Not even members of the government knew what was going on with Durban Park. So Minister Patterson, as the spokesperson, stood up and go back to the tape. He'll say, I received a note here, and he read from the note. And even when we did not hear all the names correctly, and we met him in the corridors and was trying to get from him, some of you were trying to get the names as well, he couldn't remember because he did not know. It was slipped to him. So that's the first thing that we want to emphasize. What transpired in the Parliament last night was a charade, and even though I noticed that the Gina headline which came to my phone, and I did not even have had the time to read all of it, government makes full disclosure, has nothing to hide, hands are clean. Well, if their hands are clean, why didn't they tell the nation that Dr. Rupert Rupnerang or a Rupert Rupnerang, why was this omitted last night? And why did they not make full disclosure? On the government side saying, my other colleagues will give you the information. We still don't know the cost. Company number 8427 was registered on the 22nd of January 2016. 22nd of January 2016, at that time, if you go back and check, we had just, or were about, Comrade Gail might be able to tell me if we had completed consideration of budget 2016, because we did that early January. I'm not sure if we had finished.
We hadn't started. We started February the 8th, I think, 2016.
We were considering budget 2016 around that same time.
We read on January 29th.
So here it is that we had a company that was registered January of this year, but all of us know, all of us are aware that since September, or even in front of September last year, works were ongoing on Durban Park, because the same group of people that were engaged in the rehabilitation of the Independence Arch that went into the inauguration ceremony, immediately after you started seeing movement of equipment and all the rest of it, and when nobody knew what was taking place. The issue is, before this company was incorporated, who was collecting money? Who was collecting money? Monies had to be collected, because if you go back, you will see images of stands, construction, concrete, and all of that before January 2016. As a matter of fact, this facility was used for independence, for the Republic celebration in February 2016, if you would recall. There were already stands and everything up, even though they had no covers for the Republic celebration this year, which is the first time the big flag was raised and so on. I'm just reminding us of this. So we still don't know. But what is worse, if we are hearing that a Mr. Lawrence London, a Mr. Rupert Rupnarine, a Babita Ram, we still have to find out who is that, a Jonathan Miller, and a Victor Wilson was responsible for Homestretch Development Inc., then we need to inquire what was the arrangement that the Ministry of the Presidency had with this company. Minister Cathy Hughes, Minister Nicolette Henry, Minister Patterson, Minister Ferguson, Minister Hastings, they all admitted that the government needed this new facility for the hosting of the 50th anniversary. The stadium was bad. So you can't tell me now that that was being developed by private developers or some private interests. It was a government decision. So we are left to conclude, and I would like it to be publicly rebutted, that the government set up a private company with these individuals to receive monies from private individuals, businesses and companies and individuals in the diaspora to get that project done. But then we need to take a step further. What happened that caused His Excellency the President to declare that this project will now fall under the Ministry of Public Infrastructure? Was it that the money ran out? Was it that there was misappropriation of funds? Was it that the Homestretch Development Inc. breached some agreement that they had with the Ministry of the Presidency? And more than all of this, when the Ministry of Public Infrastructure took over the project, I almost said Linden Holding Company, and you remember that name very well. Homestretch Development Inc., because it sounds like another Linden Holding Company. Homestretch Development Inc., did they have money in the bank? How much money was remaining? Now that the government has expended what we know in cash of excess of $500 million, is there still money in the bank? We haven't received answers to those questions.